This is my week 7 lab for classes for creating, using and importing classes and using instances of the classes. So first is my class for, it's called Imperial as instructed. It has all the conversions for each subject, which is temperature, length, and then time. So I have functions converting for Celsius and Fahrenheit for temperature, inches, millimeters for length, and then standard and military time for time conversions. So I had my initialization function and then pass because it's empty. I don't need any to enter any arguments. They're all going to be user input. Um, so each function has its formula, and then it has the user input, and then it will incorporate the user input into the formula, and then return it, and then I will call it inside of the main program to convert it upon like instructed. So here's my main program from Imperial class, which is the file I imported the Imperial class. So here are my functions that go into the main loop. So starting in order, I have welcome to your conversion calculator, which is an entry message. And then for my while true loop, I have the starting prompt to begin the loop. So it'll be first to let you know, enter stop to exit program, and then please enter, and it's supposed to say main menu to return to the main menu. We'll get back to that later. Oh no, it's not. It's just enter stop to exit program, and then please enter, and then the temperature, distance, or time if you want to convert those, depending on which one you want to do. And then here's the input or user input that goes with this one. So, and this is called prompt reply. So if prompt reply is temperature, or if the user's calling temperature, then it will pull up another main message on how to break the loop. So main menu to return to the primary menu, which is the previous one, and then enter stop to quit the program, which breaks the entire loop and it completely exits the program. And then so convert to Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then enter F for Fahrenheit, C for Celsius, and then which is my next prompt going into that one, and then that user input, and then here I'm calling my temp replies function, which is the if statements or conditions based off of uh, this prompt or user input. So for temp replies, so since that variable isn't declared anywhere outside of the loop, I had to call it inside a separate variable. So x equals temp reply, and then if temp reply or x equals f, it returns print. So here's where I call my class. So imperial, which is the class, and then dot Fahrenheit, which is the function. So it'll use that input to call the definition or the function from that class, and then it'll return it with the value and the degrees in Fahrenheit, which going back for Fahrenheit. So this is the actual user input that it's basing it off of, and it'll show it in the program when it runs. And then it's the same for if x equals C for Celsius, and then same thing, calling the class and then calling the function, and then it'll print degrees Celsius, so it knows. So it'll show you which one that you had converted it to. And then so here's my returning to the main menu and my breaking if statements within this if statements, just to group it all together. So if temp reply equals main menu, then it goes back to the start prompt. If temp reply equals stop, it completely breaks out of the program. It's the same idea for each if block. So this one's just for distance, the same concept. Enter main menu, enter stop, convert to inches or millimeters, enter I for inches, enter M for millimeters, and then my distance replies function, which is same thing. Since it's not declared anywhere outside the loop, I had to place it with a separate value. So if x or dist reply equals I, it'll call the class and the function, convert it inside from the class, and then return with that that output number, and then inches, so it clarifies what the unit is. Same thing for millimeters. And then I have the same for going back to the main menu, and then also breaking out of the program or loop. Then I have my if the prompt reply equals time, I have convert to military time. You enter, or 12-hour time for standard. I can enter 24 for military time and 12 for standard. And then um, so I have my user input. So since this one is using they're going to be entering actual numbers for this one. So I put integer input, and then my time replies functions. So same thing, variable recalled. If x equals 12, calls the class and the function. X equals 24 calls class and function. Or for this one, it has to clarify if it's AM or PM. And then if the prompt is PM, and then it calls the afternoon function for the imperial class. And then also AM for military morning, just so, because usually 12 hours, there's only 12 hours you can use. In the military, there's 24 hours. So I just needed to clarify that, what values we're using. And then, so it will return that and print it. And then, since I was using integers, it's not exactly as user-friendly, but it's for time's sake. So you enter 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to go back to the menu, and then enter 0 if you want to break or quit the program. And then the if statement from the beginning, to completely exit the program from the beginning of the program. I put in stop to break the loop again. So here's what it looks like when we are running the program. Let's start from the first page, just so, because it gets kind of messy. Okay, so we have our entry message, which is welcome to your conversion calculator, and then enter stop to exit the program. I try to center that or push a little bit towards the middle to make it pop out, and then please enter if you like to convert temperature, distance, or time. So for just an explanation for the rest of this video, haven't figured it out yet, but there's been an issue with every time I enter or I have a prompt, it keeps returning none, as if it was a function. I don't know why it's doing that, because I tested through the program even from with absolutely no functions, and it still returns none every time. So that is still a mystery for me. But anyways, so first we'll start with temperature. And then here's where it says enter main menu to return to the menu, enter stop to quit the program, and then so convert to Fahrenheit or Celsius. F for Fahrenheit and C for Celsius. So we'll do F for Fahrenheit. I'll say that I have 45 degrees Celsius. So that's my numeral variable, and so that equals out to be 113 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it takes you back to the main menu to restart. So we do temperature again to do Celsius. So I want to convert to Fahrenheit. Now I want to convert to Celsius. So 75 degrees outside, around that today. And so I want to know what that is in Celsius. So this is I called it in a float. So that's what the extra is, like in case somebody wanted to put as a decimal. So here's my extra reminder. So this is 23.8 with the bar over. Degrees Celsius is what 75 degrees is. And then it takes me back to the main menu. So we could just, for testing sake, do temperature. And then I can type in main menu. Takes me back to the main menu, temperature, stop, and it takes me out of the program. And then we can do distance. So same messages, convert to inches or millimeters, enter I for inches or M for millimeters. So I want to do convert to inches. So let's say I have like 275 millimeters. That would equal out to be approximately 21 inches. And then I can do distance again. I want to convert to millimeters this time. I have 24 inches, and that is about 609.6 millimeters. So we can do distance again just to make sure everything works. And I do main menu. Goes back to main menu. Distance again. Stop. Breaks out of the loop. And then now we can do time. So I'll do time. This is where the message is different. So I enter 1, 2, 3, 4 to return to the main menu, and then enter 0 to quit program. So this one's purely looking for numbers the entire time during like this part of the class, as well as the function that I had called it for. So let's say I want to convert to military time, because in the United States that's a little bit less used, I guess. So I want to convert to military, so I'll enter 24. The current time I have is PM. So just put it in with no colon. So time right now is 11:28. And okay, so we'll do that again. I actually forgot to enter a print statement to return it, so that's why I didn't enter anything or return anything. So do it again. So time, we want to do military time. So the time right now is now 11:32. No, I want to do PM. It's 11:32. And so the return time is 23:32. We can do that again. Time, 24 hours or military, 8 a.m. I want to do like 6:39 a.m. And then just the only difference for early morning is adding a 0 in the beginning. And then we'll do time again, and then we'll convert military to 12 hour for standard time. So do the time here, 23 32 is 11:32 p.m. time. And then we'll do 12 hour, we'll do a morning time. And then we'll do 05:30 is 5:30 a.m. And then we can again try our exit strategies. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, main menu, time, and then I can do 0 to exit. And that is my my main programming, calling my class, my Imperial class, and then using it as like the conversions, and then being able to pull it up in a user interface and interact with the program itself.